Today, on Be Something Wonderful, I climbed the ladder and met my SP. I am your host, Tom Kieran, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back. We're back in the studios at Be Something Wonderful, and I have a powerful session to share with you. It wasn't from yesterday, it was from the day before yesterday. Yesterday I was traveling, but the day before that, I had a session with one of my clients that really we've had rapid fire sessions for the last 3 weeks, probably at least 6. And in this last one, this is what she said to me. Tom, I climbed the ladder and met someone new that I really like. What's happening here? Well, when we had first talked, she was talking about that she has been she broke up with somebody about 3 months before that. She's been wanting to meet someone new. She's not new to manifesting, but probably about 9 months into it, maybe a year into learning how to create her own reality. And she said, Tom, I've studied Neville Goddard, and I'm sort of addicted to the YouTube channels. She goes, I've watched them all. She goes, Elmer and Joseph and Kimberly and Shelley. And she goes, what do you think? And I go, I think they're all powerful. I think they're all great, right? Whatever resonates with you. And she goes, but I can't even seem to climb the ladder. I can't manifest my SP, but I can't even seem to climb the ladder. If those of you that are familiar, Neville Goddard and the teachings of Neville Goddard, he talks about a technique, he talks about a process, an imaginal act of climbing a ladder. And that's one of his core teachings, to teach you, to give you the idea of how easy, how effortless it is to imagine to go within. Imagine from a state akin to sleep that you're climbing a ladder. And then for sure, you will end up climbing a ladder. And he even talks about this idea of writing little post-it notes or reading something that says, I will not climb a ladder, putting that on. That idea of the focus becomes on your ladder. We're going to talk about this in a few minutes. So I'm not going to talk about the process of climbing a ladder. You can get that from all the people that she mentioned, I'm sure, cover it. All those names and I don't watch any of those channels. I rely on my natural ability. And that's what I want to talk about. That's what I talked about her. I said all of those teachers are powerful. All of them are great. All of them have something to share, something for you to resonate with. But nothing takes the place of your natural ability. In other words, that inner authority within you to create your own reality, to manifest what you want. So she just got caught up in the processes. She goes, well, what about the ladder? I go, just climb it. Hear this. Stop thinking about the processes. Stop getting trapped. This really comes from the teachings of A Magician's Way, which I'm going to cover today, and I'll leave a link below. I've covered this before. But she's getting trapped in the swing circle. In The Magician's Way, they use golf as an example for manifesting anything in your life. And it talks about how you're practicing your swing and you're in the swing circle, only focused on the process, only focused on your ability, only focused on the circumstances in the swing circle. And your mind and your focus is not on the target, not on your desired outcome, not on your desired end. We're going to talk about that today. So what I really told her, we did go over the process, which she knows because she covered there's a lot of Neville Goddard teachers out there, and they're amazing, right? Elmer and Joseph and all of those guys, right? All those teachers are great, so she knows. But what I said, look, here's how I'm going to cover the process. I want you to just climb the ladder. And then I want you to just pause at the top and look down. Just look down from the ladder, and that's it. Let it go. Right, let that go. So what happened? What happened? This wasn't in last lesson. The last session, a day before yesterday, is when she told me what happened here. What happened? She got invited to a last-minute ski trip where it was lots of people, lots of friends, and her bed was in the loft. She had to climb a ladder. Hear this. To get to her bed. And when she realized it, she paused at the top and she goes, oh my God. And she met somebody new. We don't know where that's going to go, but she really likes him. So what's going on here? Let's really hit this. What happens is linear time and linear thinking, we get trapped into, it's not just about linear time. Thinking, oh, it's been so many months and all that. She gets caught up in that. But it's the linear thinking, more importantly, the assumptions that processes, that techniques, that conditions and circumstances determine the outcomes. That was her assumption. Right? If she's going to if she does a real great imaginal act, if she really learns the processes, if she really learns the technique, she went from channel to channel. The names she mentioned, some I don't even know. There were so many, right? They're all powerful. They're all great. It doesn't matter. You can watch any one of those and still be able to feel that power within, but it's your inner authority that matters, right? She was addicted to channels and processes, influenced by conditions, past and present. All moves your focus off your desired end and puts your focus on the unwanted. That's what happened to her, right? Focus determines outcomes. Focus creates reality. Focus determines your entire life experience. So she just climbed the ladder. She just put her focus on her desired outcome. She gave up the efforting in the processes and started to trust her inner authority. Trust that natural ability that the Magician's Way talks about. So I want to hit this today like we never have before. So in the Magician's Way, there's a powerful quote. There are many, but fear is resistance to a negative outcome. That's all it is. She was just all those processes, all trying to make something happen, all wanting to meet someone new. She had fear that she's going to continue to be single, fear that it's not going to work out. She resisted it, right? The thought and assumption that you won't get what you want, that's all that is. And her focus was on that, right? You want or you will end up with what you don't want. So here's the deal. Fear is resistance to the negative outcome, right? The thought and assumption that you won't get what you want or you'll end up with what you don't want. Puts all your focus now is not on your desired end. It's not on what you really want. That natural ability or that inner authority can't work through you to get it. It can only lead you to more of what you don't want. It's not the fearful thought that's the problem. This is really what I talked to her about. I could put it out there as a quantum possibility that you won't meet anyone. Put it out there that you won't climb the ladder. This is the power in Neville Goddard saying, right, I will not climb the ladder. Remember, just affirming, I will not climb the ladder, that's a conscious affirming. There's more power, and all the power is in that greater subconscious and that greater power within you that only hears climbing the ladder. Right here, you're saying I will not climb the ladder, but what is that greater subconscious here? It focuses on climbing the ladder, the idea of climbing the ladder. We're going to get to this in a minute. It's not the fearful thought that's the problem. It's you trying to control it and get rid of it that puts the problem there. We talked a little bit about this in a few videos ago. It's the resistance to the perceived unwanted outcome. That's all it is. It's the resistance to the negative outcome. It's not the fear itself. It's you trying to control it, trying to overcome it, trying to get rid of it, as opposed to saying that's just one quantum possibility out of an infinite number of quantum possibilities. And I am going to choose what I want now, right? I accept all possibilities, but I'm choosing the reality that I want. Do you see the power in this? The key is acknowledge the thought of fear and feel the limiting thought and assumption. Feel the thought, feel the sensation, let it go. Once you feel it, once you acknowledge it, then it has no power over you. Just like Jesus said to Pontius Pilate, you have no power over me unless it's given from above, right? This is what a Magician's Way says. You have to learn to love the negative. You have to welcome it, because when you see it, you can take the power out of it. You can let it go. In other words, it doesn't become negative anymore. We already know, we've talked about in many videos, the idea that it's just a judgment. It's just a label on a situation, on a circumstance, an outcome that you're judging as negative, and then you feel that outcome, right? You feel the fear there, right? That's all just source energy. You're labeling all that, but you can't let go of what you're trying to get rid of, control, or overcome. You can't let it go because you're trying to ignore it, you're trying to get rid of it, you're trying to say it's not there, right? You can't let go of what you're trying to get rid of, control, or overcome. You merely end up holding on to it tighter. This is big today. So Allow all possibilities and outcome to exist and then choose again. This is really a point that I hit with this client that did climb the ladder, that did meet an SP, right? The unwanted or negative outcome is just one quantum possibility out of an infinite number of possible outcomes. Now you have released the resistance and the focus on what you don't want, and you can freely now move your attention back to your imagined desired end. It's out there. You've accepted the possibility of that outcome. But you're going to keep, like in golf, you're going to keep your focus on that target, on the hole, and you're going to keep swinging. Right? There is no possibility of failure. You're just going to keep swinging, and you're going to hit that hole. You're going to hit that target. Right? But if you're trapped in the processes, you're trapped in the swing circle. If you're trapped on, oh, I don't know how to imagine climbing the ladder, or I don't know how to manifest my yesterday. All that keeps you trapped in that, right? You can now freely move to your imaginative end. That's what the Magician's Way calls the law of focus. You create, manifest, see, and perceive what you focus on. Do you see it? This is big. We're going to talk more about this. And this is why Neville Goddard says, I will not climb the ladder. That idea, that thought. He says, what you consciously affirm is not where remember, what you consciously affirm is not where the unlimited power is. That's why he wanted you to do that. Because he knows he knew that that's not where your power is. You're going to affirm, I will not climb the ladder, but that's only putting your focus on climbing the ladder, the idea of climbing a ladder. It's not what you consciously affirm is not where your unlimited power is. It's what you imagine and impress on that greater subconscious. In other words, it's in that inner authority, in that inner you, in that great subconscious that's within you, that great creative medium of God. That's where your power is, and that's why that works. Your focus is now on climbing the ladder, the law of focus. It's not on not climbing the ladder, it's on climbing the ladder. It's not about doing the processes right or perfecting your ability to manifest. Remember, that's linear thinking. That I've got to have certain abilities, and I've got to overcome, and the circumstances have to be favorable, and they have to be just right. And I've got to really imagine it just right. I've got to drop off to sleep just right. I've got to make sure that's all right, and then I can manifest what I want. None of that. That keeps you trapped in the proverbial swing circle, where you're working on your swing and your focus is not on your desired outcome. It's not about conditions or circumstances. It's simply trust in your inner authority. That's all it is. Trust it. Watch any channel you want. Read any book you want. Those are all powerful things. But don't rely on them. Don't rely on them. Rely on your inner authority. It's not about relying on favorable circumstances or relying on processes or relying on tricks. It's about relying on your inner authority, your power as a creator, right? That's power. So focus, imagine, assume, claim, focus on what you want, right? Imagine, assume, or claim what you want, your desired outcome, while allowing, hear this, the possibility of the unwanted outcome to be there. It has a right to exist. You're an infinite being, right? You have infinite realities within you. Allow your inner authority and natural ability to move you to your desired imagined end. And it will. You will take action. You'll be moved by that higher authority, by that inner authority. And now that there's no effort. Your focus is not, you're not stuck in the swing circle. You're not stuck in the processes. You're not feeling exhausted trying to make something happen, right? It's happening through you. The Magician's Way. The game isn't about hitting a good shot. It's about imagining yourself hitting a good shot. So if you stop trying to hit a good shot, hit good shots, and begin imagining good shots, you'll be hitting good shots. You hear this? So the game isn't about climbing the ladder. It's about imagining yourself climbing the ladder. If you stop trying to climb the ladder and begin imagining climbing the ladder, you'll be climbing the ladder. Wow! Powerful, and that's exactly, and she has her SP, or she met a new SP, right? Because her focus was now on that inner authority, on that inner power, right? I climbed the ladder and met my SP. That's powerful. I am your host, Tom Karen, and this is the Be Something Wonderful Studio of Higher Consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creatives, thank you. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for liking the videos. Thank you for commenting on the video. Your comments are lovely and loving and beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for considering joining the membership channel. There'll be a new video coming out on the membership channel, more powerful than ever. Don't forget we have a Facebook group, the Be Something Wonderful Ambassadors at facebook.com/groups/Be Something Wonderful, where you can share insight and guidance with others. We also have our Instagram and Twitter at Tom Caron, or just go to our website anytime at tomcaron.com or besomethingwonderful.com. Big week coming, guys. This is Tom Caron with the Be Something Wonderful studio of Higher Consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. With great love, with great light, and infinite gratitude. This is Tom. See you soon, creators.